Alright, what's going on, strugglers? Welcome to a new video, and as you can see today I wanted to try something different, so I'm just vlogging whatever. Today's Fomc, so I'll probably going to come into the charts at 2 p.m. So I did try to trade this morning, but I didn't see any setups, and yeah, I decided, what, why not just do a vlog. I just got done with a small little shift, going back home, so I kind of wanted to talk about like different things. Honestly, these past couple of days, I've just been reflecting. Well, I'm always reflecting on my trading, like on everything that I do. If I'm on the shower, if I'm driving, I'm just always going to think about my trading, how I perform, what's going right, what's going wrong, right? And recently, I've just been thinking about kind of what are my issues, right? And I've been realizing that one of my main issues while trading, sometimes it's not even the technical aspect, it's just my self-confidence. Sometimes I'm afraid to just pull the trigger. Sometimes I have a clear setup, but I don't know, I just can't seem to trust myself sometimes to just take the trade. Or sometimes I'm in a trade, I'm just not confident. Like, confidence, sometimes it's one like big issue that I have. Also, sometimes when I lose a trade, I get so down, and just like, again, I like confidence on the next trade, right? And I've just been thinking, like, why do I have this issue? Like, why am I not confident sometimes? And sometimes it's not even like related to the charts. Of course, if I don't have confidence in my setup, it's going to affect me, right? But like, I've seen plenty of times my setup like work, right? So it's not even that, but I've been realizing that honestly, there are some deep-rooted issues in ourselves, in our subconscious self, that we don't even realize. And sometimes it can even go back to our childhood. Like, maybe you're thinking that I'm not even like making sense, like why am I talking about childhood? But like, honestly, like when we were a child, sometimes events that happen to us, like they stay rooted in us, right? They stay rooted in our subconscious self. And what I mean by that is, I don't know, it depends on each individual, but I remember, I'm gonna give you an example that stayed with me for a long time, that I didn't even realize. It's by reflecting on my trading that I've realized this thing. And what I'm talking about is that when I was little, like at 6 years old, I started playing hockey, right? And I played hockey from like 6 to 10, and I was really good. I was such a talented player at a young age. Like, I just had this skill, man. I was cracked at hockey. I don't know, I was just really skillful. I would score a lot of goals. I was like the best player on my team, right? And I had this thing when I was little, man. I lacked a lot of confidence. I had the skill set, right? I was such a good player. Like, I remember my dad was really proud of me. Like, honestly, I could have gone really far with hockey, but I stopped later on because it's an expensive sport. It's really tiring for my father, being an immigrant, like working fucking 12 hours a day, and then having to go to the arena. Anyways, that's not the point, but I remember I was really good, right? And I remember like the people around me, like my team, my teammates, my coaches, my family, had a lot of expectations for me at a young age on every single game, and it kind of gave me a little bit of pressure. But I remember that every time that something wrong would happen, every time that I messed up, like whatever it is, I would get so down. I would like be so down. I wasn't able to just move on. It would stick with me. It would affect how I would play for the rest of the game. Let's say like I'm alone, right? I have the puck. I'm like, it's just me and the goalkeeper, and I mess up. I didn't score well. A lot of people around me would like not necessarily encourage me, but when I said the people around me, I'm talking about my family, because my parents, my family, were immigrants, right? And especially my dad, and like, it's not all sunshines and rainbow when you have immigrants parents. And what I mean by that is that if you mess up, like they're gonna let you know, right? And being like 6, 7, 8 years old and messing up, like my dad would not scream at me, but he would tell me, why didn't you do that? Why didn't you, instead of doing that, do that? And like, not necessarily receiving encouragements, it would affect me, right? Because I wanted to, you know, please my dad, right? When I would score a goal, like, he would be so happy and all that. And also I have an older brother, an older cousin, so if I mess up, they would make fun of me, right? And so I remember at that age, man, I would get so down and I would lack so much confidence when I would mess up, right? And I wouldn't lead the team, I didn't score a goal on a game. Like, they would let me know, like, damn, you messed up, you know, instead of like encourage me at a young age. And I remember, like, my dad would tell me, and even like my coaches would tell me, like, your main issue is that you get so down once you mess up. But instead of telling me, yo, it's okay, just move on, right? I didn't get that type of comments at a young age. And of course it's gonna affect you, especially at fucking 8 years old, right? And I remember at some point I would like get really down. I just didn't even want to play anymore. Like, I was afraid I would lack confidence. And I remember, like, I ended up stop playing hockey. Like I said before, it was an expensive sport. At 10, 11 years old, I just like didn't play anymore. I like transitioned to basketball. That's another story. Like, basketball, I really enjoyed it because, like I said, I didn't have this pressure. I was like a role player. It was fun, but even that, like, I still play for fun. But anyways, what I'm trying to get into is that thing really stayed in me, in my subconscious self. Like, honestly, even moving on with my life at like 12 to 14 years old, like, I was also fat at that age. I would get fun of by my older brothers. Like, it's normal, honestly, but still, it would hurt at that time, you know? And yeah, and realizing all of that thing that I went through my childhood, it stayed with me even at 22 years old. Like, I still lack confidence, and trading showed me that. It's honestly crazy. So if you're watching this, honestly, think about your childhood. Like, did something, like, for me, it's not traumatic, but it's something that happened that it's rooted in me, that made me lack confidence a lot of times. And during my trades, so like, once I'm in a trade, I will lack confidence. If I lose, like, I still have the same trade, right? If I lose on a trade, I start to doubt my trading, my system, and all that. I overthink, and that's exactly what will happen at a younger age when, you know, I didn't score a goal. Like, my father would like kind of be mad at my performance and not like encourage me. Like, I love my dad, I'm not saying that he's a bad person, but it's just like that with immigrants. Like, trust me, it's like that. It's not all sunshine and rainbow. It's okay, move on. No, like, they're gonna tell you straight to your face like what you did wrong, and that's a good thing sometimes. But at a younger age, like, you have to be a little bit more careful, right? But yeah, it stayed with me. Like, and honestly, like, the thing that I'm trying to do to fix that, right? So now I'm just thinking, how can I fix that? Well, of course, in terms of trading, I need to backtest. I need to see my setup play out while backtesting, so I can have more confidence when I'm in the charts, so I can know that my setup actually works. And if I take a loss, it's okay. Like, on the long term, I'm gonna win. But also outside of training, right? Staying disciplined, going to the gym, like, my physical like appearance, it's important. Like, it gives me confidence. Right now, I kind of look like shit. I don't have a haircut, so I booked a haircut, right? I want to have a six-pack. I feel like I'm fat right now, so I'm working on it. I'm trying to go to the gym. I'm trying to lose weight. Like, all these things, it's fucking important. Like, for me, of course, I'm not gonna judge people, but like, if I'm fat, I'm gonna be so fucking mad at myself, because like, if you're fat, let's be honest, you're gonna lack confidence. I was fat. I'm talking with experience. Like, I was a fucking fat ass at a young age, right? I worked really hard to lose weight so I can have more confidence, and I'm still trying to go at it. I want to have a six-pack. Like, honestly, right now I feel like I'm fat, so I need to lose weight. So also, like, what I'm trying to say is that outside of trading, I need to build habits to have more confidence, right, in myself, right? And yeah, I ended up talking a lot, but I wanted to just talk a couple of minutes. But yeah, if you're watching, think of your childhood. What happened? Like, sometimes it's even more extreme. Did your parents like beat you or anything? Like, honestly, like, these type of things that happen in your childhood affects how you act later on in your life, and it will definitely affect how you trade, right? So that's where I'm currently working on, just trying to have more confidence in general, so it can reflect on my trading, right? But yeah, enough yapping. I'm gonna probably live trade soon, the FOMC, if I can, but I'll see you guys soon. What's going on, guys? It's currently 1:51 p.m. There's FOMC at 2 p.m. and I have no idea how it's gonna affect the market. And honestly, I don't know if it's gonna really be volatile. I have no idea. But with also the government being shut down, I hope it's gonna release. I hope it's not gonna be delayed or canceled. I don't even know what's going on right now with the US government, but yeah, I'm just gonna live trade, see what's going on. I have a potential setup, but not necessarily sure. We did really go higher from this SMT. Gonna be honest, this AM session, I kind of wanted to go lower from this 4 hour gap, but seeing how it tapped 3 times and it struggled to go lower, it was a sign that we could have went higher. But we also even had this small 15-minute gap to go higher. But yeah, I was basically looking for shorts. Let me just charge my computer. There you go. And right now, as you can see, we did target the 4 hour high. We have this SMT on a 15-minute, which is pretty nice. And we have some internal drawn liquidity with this 15-minute gap and this 1 hour gap. So yeah, gonna see if we can have some kind of rejection and go lower from that. Alright guys, so I ended up losing, and as you can see right at FOMC right there, we had this long wick which manipulated me. I thought we were going lower, so we did have this SMT right here, and that's when I went short, thinking we're gonna inverse all these gaps, having my stop loss around at this above this 50 area in case price want to respect this consequent encroachment. Targeting first this 15-minute gap right here and then the 1 hour, but we ended up going higher, and price, looking back, just ended up reacting off of this 15-minute order block right here. And yeah, it did end up respecting this 1 minute small fair value gap, so it is what it is, man. Again, I need to wait for that candle to close below. I just thought we had this momentum. We had stopped this. We swept this high, thinking that FOMC is going to stop these traders from this high right there to go lower, but we ended up just going higher and higher. And looking back, honestly, we are at all-time highs. If we had an SMT with this 4 hour high, it would have made much more sense, but we didn't. Even yes took out that high, so it was just a sign that we're going higher again. But it is what it is. I'm just gonna have to move on right now. I just have to close the charts, but I do have that daily limit that locked me out of the trade, so I'm currently in a 3-day losing streak, which absolutely sucks. If I go right here, it absolutely sucks. So 3 days in a row losing, which sucks, but it is what it is, man. Honestly, I think I'm like 1 or 2 trades away from blowing the account because my trailing drawdown is at 49,400, not even 48, because it goes up as I make profits. So now that I'm on a losing streak, sorry, I'm close to hitting that drawdown limit. But yeah, I have like 1 or 2 trades left. If I blow it, I blow it, man. But it is what it is. Looking back, honestly, I need to have higher time frame SMT, man. Like, I've realized that if I don't have that SMT on the higher time frame, it's just price going higher and higher. Like, it's just a running highs, right? Not sweeping it, but that's it for the live trade. I'm going to go to the gym right now, so I'll see you guys soon.